This is DMP Kenya, and welcome back to Turning the Mirror podcast. This is where we bring you the reflection of politics and governance across our country, Kenya. And we just saw Martha Karua rebrand her NAC party to People's Liberation Party, and we saw it take a purple color. And it's again the talk of the street today, and people are talking about it. Why is she rebranding her party? And that she's claiming that she will vie for 2027 presidential election. Is she really viable? And do we see possibilities of her amassing votes from Kenyans?
Viability, we can say is viable.
Yeah.
She is viable.
Yeah.
Of course, she's a Kenyan citizen. She has all it takes to become the president of the Republic of Kenya. And she has also been a political leader. As a member of parliament in her constituency in Kirinyaga County, she did perform, and actually her people loved her. Nationally, she has also played a role in the national politics.
Okay.
She has been a member of the cabinet, served with the former President Kibaki, but then resigned when she felt things were not running the same way she wanted it to happen. So we have Martha Karua, who is known in Kenya as an iron lady. Someone who takes it on as it is, and someone who never changes her mind when it comes to a political cause. Remember when she started saying Ruto must go and Ruto is bad? She's among the very few politicians remaining who still has the same stand, Ruto must go. You know, most of the politicians keep changing depending on the environment and what's it there at the table. So Martha Karua is known with that. Again, Martha Karua is a lawyer who has been in the courts of justice, defending even the Gen Zs who are arrested unlawfully, who are tortured unlawfully, and who actually went through police brutality, the victims of the police brutality in the concluded Gen Z protest that happened in June 2024. Martha Karua has been in court. And actually we even had Morara Kebaso, who attended when she was actually rebranding her party to People's Liberation Party. Morara Kebaso attending this, he stated very clearly and openly to the people that Martha Karua has been representing him in court whenever the government is following him for what he has been standing for. And he said that Martha Karua has been doing that free of charge. He has never paid Martha Karua even a single cent. And the same applies to most of the lawyers we have around, like Faith Odhiambo and the Law Society of Kenya, with the likes of Martha Karua, going to court to represent people who are tortured or fall victims in the excesses of this regime. Remember, Martha Karua had a guest in Kenya just recently in the name of Kizza Besigye, the Uganda's opposition leader. And this guy was in Kenya as a visitor to Martha Karua because they had a function. And then he was abducted in Kenya, sent back to Uganda, has been detained. And one among the court sessions that has been going on even in the military courts, we've seen Martha Karua as one of the lawyers who has stood with him a senior counsel in these courts. And in fact, the way Martha Karua was handling those military guys in the courts made people speak. Because it seems in Uganda there's a way even the lawyers are suppressed. And so Martha Karua was speaking there with a lot of authority. And so Martha Karua is known both in Kenya and even outside the Kenyan borders. So when it comes to running for president, of course, when you feel you are capable, you are allowed, and therefore she can run. Of course, she has a political party and all it takes to run as a president. But now, if we look at Martha Karua getting votes, you know, that is now something else. You can be famous. So many people know you. Even the people you don't expect to have known you will know you. But now with politics and elections, elective positions, it is not fame, but popularity. Are you popular on the ground? If you look at how Martha Karua performed in 2022 elections, when she was the running mate of Raila Odinga in the Azimio coalition, it is open that she did not bring as much votes on her basket compared to the other party leaders who formed the Azimio coalition. Compare that to even Kalonzo Musyoka with his Ukambani basket. So Martha Karua's basket alone, with her alone as a running candidate, as a presidential candidate, I don't see Martha Karua getting substantial votes, even to become number 2.
Yeah, back in 2022, maybe the odds are not right. The narrative William Ruto was giving to the mountain region, and perhaps the personality that Gachagua displayed to the mountain region, because we just expected that Martha Karua will come with the mountain region in the Azimio party.
Yeah.
And again, politics is also something so different that even tomorrow you find things get so different and things change all of a sudden, because even in the debate with the Gachagua before the 2022 elections, I remember there were a lot of praises across the country that she's so tough, and she's courageous and confident, and speaks truth. And a lot of people, especially the women, loved what she had to say. But also in this case, she has declared that she will be a running mate to nobody. Yeah, that she must be in the ballot paper. So with saying this with this lots of confidence, it means she believes or takes or maybe has been promised something from the mountain region, or maybe from the opposition side that is coming from Rigathi Gachagua and the likes of Kalonzo. Maybe they have an agreement. So is there a possibility that there can be a backup of especially the people who were also in the rebranding of our party just yesterday? Could these people possibly support her?
You see, what I can tell you, Martha Karua is someone who many people admire, including myself. I admire Martha Karua's courage, and what she stands for is exactly what she goes for. So I admire her for what she has always done. But anyway, just as any other normal human being, she also has the parts she once played, a past that is not good with the history. That is 2007 elections. In 2007 elections, Martha Karua is not very good with history. But aside that, she has always stood for everything that is right. And therefore, Martha Karua, I told you, if she runs as a candidate alone, then I don't see her getting substantial votes to even become number 2. But if Martha Karua runs with the backup of the likes of Gachagua, today Gachagua is a darling to the Mount Kenya region. And remember, I'll keep saying this, up to today, Kenyan politics are ethnic-based, not issue-based. They're ethnic-based. And therefore, if Martha Karua manages to convince Gachagua, and therefore Gachagua supports her, we have Eugene Wamalwa support her. Kalonzo Musyoka support her. That group support her. Then Martha Karua will surprise people.
Okay.
Because then she can even win. The only problem we have in Kenya is that many people don't vote looking at leaders maybe because of integrity or what you stand for or what you have been doing.
Okay.
Many people vote in the line of actually many Kenyans love being lied to. So the one who lies the most, the moment you master how to lie the most and how you can present this lie to make it look like reality, then people vote for you. But the people who has the right character, you remember even PLO Lumumba once ran for a position, but people never voted him. And we have people who are being spoken about across Africa, but then these people are never voted in. So Kenya, not unless Kenya changes, because anyway things are changing, but then in politics things cannot just change drastically. It has to go through some process.
And when you are talking about a dark past for Martha Karua, you can't really say that that can affect her and her ambitions, because we know even William Ruto, because he also has this dark past. And there's so many things that are said so evil about him, but it's just about the narrative that he brought to the country when he was aiming for the 2022 elections, and he convinced the better part of the country, and people were so joyful they forgot about all this dark past. And also we have Martha Karua plus her toughness and also her ability to lead, because you just mentioned that she was a good member of parliament, and she's a developer, and people know that. And if there can be papers and things to prove that, they can be brought to the table. But it's just about the narrative that she can bring to the country. Is it possible she can do it and bring the wave to her side?
Maybe.
Especially the women vote.
Maybe. But women are women's enemies.
Okay.
Because if women were to support women, then Martha Karua would be president in 2013. She was among the very only women who were running for the top office in Kenya. But women did not even vote for her.
But
they
maybe
voted
she,
for these
she
other
lacked
people.
a good narrative.
So what happens here is this. Not unless Martha Karua rides on people who did literature and political science like Rigathi Gachagua, then I don't see I don't see Martha Karua managing to convince people otherwise like William Ruto. If you say William Ruto had a dark past, that is true. If you say he managed to convince people otherwise, that is also true. Remember, Ruto knows how to play with words. Ruto is an orator. Ruto can lie in the morning, in the evening, and even when listening to himself lying, he again comes back and lies again. And he doesn't care. But Martha Karua is not an orator. Yeah? Martha speaks what she believes she should say, but then is not someone who can play around with words the same way politicians do. And it is true, because if you look across the globe, those who are good orators, in most cases, majority, don't deliver. And those who speak less, and you even wonder when they are given microphone to speak to the public, they don't even have something to say. They seriously deliver. In Kenya, we can mention a few, like Kivutha Kibwana of Makueni and Oparanya of Kakamega. If you give these people the mic to speak, they won't have something. They can't move a crowd. But if you give yourself some time to listen to them speak, of course, they make sense. But if you compare them to those who speak and moves crowds like James Orengo of Siaya, then you realize these are three different people.
Okay.
So in Kenya, we have Martha Karua in that category of those who speak less, speaks exactly what should be said, speaks what they feel should be said. And then we have the likes of Ruto, who speaks to convince you to vote them otherwise. Because Ruto can translate what you spoke, which is true, to what he wants people to believe, which is a lie. And that is the narrative that will go.
Yeah.
Yes.
And now, what about the support base that Martha could get? Because even in 2022, Raila could have been the president just for Ruto, because Ruto was the big opponent, and Martha Karua was by his side. Can we see a possibility of Raila supporting him in whatever way?
Anything is possible in politics, and 2 years is too far, because just 1 hour is possible to change so many things in politics. And so I can't say Raila cannot support Martha Karua, though the chances are very minimal. But it is possible that Raila can support Martha Karua. But then again, if Raila is out of the picture of Martha Karua, I don't really see maybe the Luo nation or those who are supporting Raila's cause support Martha Karua in the name of Kurudisha Mkono, because majority felt like Martha Karua did not help Raila when it comes to votes. Maybe they can do that to Kalonzo Musyoka, because Kalonzo has been with Raila for quite some time now. But the alignment that is going on, if they stick together, that is Martha Karua, Gachagua, Kalonzo Musyoka, Eugene Wamalwa, we saw Morara. We are not sure whether they are forming a coalition together or he just went there because this is has acted as his lawyer. We saw Wanjigi in 2022. Wanjigi wanted to run for president but did not go past the IEBC voting process. But then the Safina party did not form any coalition, so we are not sure whether this time they are warming up to this side. If they stick together, maybe those who have confirmed that they are going to run together. And maybe the Jubilee Party also joins them, because we've had the likes of Matiang'i also being affiliated to that very bloc. Then if they decide to maybe front Karua, then Karua would be a force. Because not just because of her, but because of even those who surrounds her. But even if they pick Matiang'i as the presidential candidate, and then give it to Karua as the deputy, then they might play around also with the emotions of the Gen Z and the millennial, because then looking at the performance level, Matiang'i performed. Looking at the justice and how things should be run when it comes to people's freedoms and rights, then Karua is somewhere. And therefore, the Gen Z might even think about something when it comes to that coalition. Yes.
Gachagua mentioned that when they come to a table and they're making an agreement of the person they are to back, they're looking for the number of votes this could be coming about with. Perhaps things might happen, but let us see, because it's like there are so many things that are yet to happen in the political space, and keep connecting to us, that we bring you all this information and analysis of politics and governance in our country, Kenya. Like our video, subscribe to the channel, and welcome back again next time. Thank you.